welcome back to my channel. It's Alice Walker here from AliceWalker.London. Happy New Year to you guys. This will be my very first video that I'm filming since the new year and I am so excited. How are you guys doing? I hope you're all doing really well. I hope you're all absolutely fantastic and I pray for a better year this year. 2021 is going to be a better year for all of us. Today I am going to talk about my eyeshadow palettes that I've owned over the years. Some of my favorite eyeshadow palettes that I've owned so far. I'm going to tell you the prices as well and what I think about these palettes, and I will tell you my favorites of all of them basically. I hope you guys are going to find this interesting. If you're not a makeup person, you might not find this interesting, but if you're a makeup person, you'll definitely find this interesting. There's some really expensive eyeshadow palettes out there and I try not to spend so much money on eyeshadow palettes, and I also try not to buy too many eyeshadow palettes, and recently I haven't bought any new eyeshadow palettes. So all these are eyeshadow palettes that I've been using for a long time, and some of them I use constantly, recognize them when I show them to you, and some of them too I use them just once or twice. Let's get on with it. My favorite drugstore eyeshadow palette is from Revolution. The prices are quite reasonable, they're inexpensive, and you get the quality that you want as well. I selected two that I really love, and the first one is, I'm sorry, they're going to be very dirty because I've used these palettes so many times. So the first one is this one, Revolution. So Soft X. This is the very first one that I purchased and I use this one many times for a couple of my eyeshadow looks. This is how the palette looks like here. Look at the color shades here. The colors are absolutely gorgeous and the pigment is unbelievable. I use it quite a bit. It's got some shimmers in there, it's got some metallics in there, and it's got some matte in there. So you can actually get a lot of looks from this eyeshadow palette. I have gotten a lot of looks from this eyeshadow palette. I really love this eyeshadow palette, and the price was only £10 and it's still £10 now, which I really love. The green shade is my favorite shade. Look at that. This is absolutely gorgeous. The pigment is unbelievable. With a green shimmer and with some of the metallics look here, you can get a bold look from this palette and as well as an everyday look. This is one of my favorite palettes from Revolution, and like I said, Revolution is one of my favorite drugstore makeup brand. And the next one that I selected and I'm happy to show you guys is this one here. It's also from Revolution. It's called Revolution Coverage Wild Animal Palette. There it is. I have used this palette as well for some of my makeup looks. They're all like warm shades and also neutral shades, and they have metallics and they have mattes, so you can actually use this palette to achieve a look without grabbing for any other palette. The other palette I showed you had the same green shade in there as well, and I love this shade, and I love this gold, the reds in here, the burgundies, the browns. Are absolutely gorgeous palette. And I feel like you can actually do an everyday look with this one. You know, if you're going to work, you can get a lot of work looks from this palette here. I purchased it for £10 and you get a lot more for the price. So there it is. So that's why I love Revolution. They do a lot of dupes as well, and their dupes are as good as the original. I hope you guys like it too. I'm not trying to sell it to you guys, but I'm just saying that these are my favorite eyeshadow palettes. Now this palette here is absolutely amazing. The Jaclyn Hill Ring Alarm. If you remember, I've done a couple of looks on my channel. If you go back and see a couple of my makeup looks, I've used this palette quite a lot on my channel and I love this so much. I'm going to show you the inside. It comes with a mirror, and this is one of my go-to palettes that I grabbed. This is compact. You can easily travel with this one. It's like a travel size. You can actually pack easily into your suitcase and take it with you when you're traveling. These are all like nice warm colors, which is absolutely gorgeous. The pigment is amazing. I'm going to show you this one here, the gold here. Just look at that. Just look at that pigment. Hold on 1 minute. Let me swatch that for you. Can you see that? That is absolutely gorgeous. It has 10 shades in here. So it has some shimmers, some metallics, and some mattes in there. These are the sort of shades that I really love. Framed is one of my favorite shades in here. And also on the camera is amazing shade. It's just gorgeous. And also the Alette. I've used Alette so many times with a couple of my looks. My birthday look last year, this is the shade that I used. This one is on the market for £16. It's good price. It's inexpensive. Beautiful palette. We are going to stick with Morphe again, and this palette I love it so much. Look at this palette. This is one of my favorite palettes, and it's from Morphe, and it's the 3502 palette. There it is, and it's all like nice warm colors. It has 35 shades. So guys, I'm gonna show you the shades. Just look at its colors. It's fantastic. Look at the size of it, and it's all warm colors. This is my go-to palette. I've done a lot of looks from this palette, and I tend to grab it. If you see my recent makeup looks, I mean, I use this palette quite a bit, you know, for transition shades, for an actual makeup look. And I don't even have to grab any other palette when I'm making a look. I can use this palette to create a whole look without grabbing any other palette. And the pigment is absolutely amazing. It has, again, it has metallics, it has mattes. Most of the palette I get, the blacks are not that dark, that black, but this black here is very, very black. You know, you can create a black smoky eyeshadow look from this one. The reason why it's my go-to palette is because it's my favorite palette. That is why it's my go-to palette. It doesn't come with a mirror, but it doesn't matter. The colors makes up for the mirror, really. I love this. I created so many looks from this palette. I purchased this palette for £24. Look at that. You get a lot for your money. Right, let me just demonstrate one for you guys to see which one. Okay, we're going to go for this one here. Look at that. This one is for people who do not like bold colors, who are not very daring when it comes to eyeshadow palettes, who are quite safe. So you can actually get a safe look from this palette. So you're not into bold colors, but you like warm colors, this palette is absolutely perfect for you. So that's what I love about this palette, and that's why this is one of my favorite palettes. The next two palettes that I'm going to show you, they are my absolute favorite palettes. I used to use them 2 to 3 years ago for my makeup looks on here on YouTube, and I use them quite a bit. Put them aside for a little bit because I got new palettes, but I think I'm gonna go back and use them. These palettes are really, really gorgeous. The shades are gorgeous. The first one I'm going to show you is the Lime Crime Venus 3. It comes with a mirror, and they are mini palettes. I'm showing you the 3 first because I like the other one even more, so I'm showing you this one first. Look at the packaging. The packaging is absolutely gorgeous, and this is the front, and it's the Venus 3 from Lime Crime. It has 8 shades in there. So it has some shimmers, it has some metallics, and it has 2 mattes. So this palette has a lot of neutral colors in there. So again, if you're not a bold person, if you're not into bold colors, it's really, really nice for you. You can create a very simple look from this palette, or you can go all out. You can create a whole look. I've done it a couple of looks where I've just used one palette, just this palette, without grabbing any other palette. If you go on the website, it's actually £34. There are some pastel colors, so this one is actually pastel looking, and then this is the bold one in there, and the rest are kind of neutral colors. So this will be perfect for somebody who is not into bold colors, and it's very compact. You can pack them easily in your traveling bag. You can take this on a holiday. Let me just do a swatch. Let me just do a swatch with this one here. Swatch. I'm not sure if you can see it. The second one again is from Lime Crime, and this one is the Venus 2. Oh, when I purchased an eyeshadow palette, I normally go for the big palettes. I like the palette with a lot of shades in there, but I just couldn't resist these ones. Into bold colors, definitely go for this palette. And I used this quite a bit as well for a couple of my looks a long time ago, and it's actually bringing back some memories, you know, 2-3 years ago, or yeah, almost 4 years ago. It's bringing back some memories. The pigment is unbelievable. I don't even know why I haven't used this palette in so long. I think I'm gonna start using it to create more looks. I haven't used this palette in so long, which I don't understand why. The Mars shade is gorgeous, and it's got a mustard there, and this shade Jam, gorgeous. Even though they matte, it still has some shimmer, and it's just really beautiful. One of my favorite palettes. They're actually a little bit pricey. You only get 8 shades, and it's for £34. A bit pricey, but I think it's worth it. I think it's worth the money. Great packaging. You can pack this easily in your holiday bag and take it with you. But I must say, this is not an everyday palette. Bold, daring eyeshadow makeup person, then I would recommend this one for you. But if you're not a bold person, then nah. The next palette I am going to talk about is this one here. Look at this palette. All these palettes are bringing back so much memories. I haven't used this palette in so long. Look at the painting on there. And the painting is meant to be hanged on your wall. So after you finish using all the eyeshadow, you can actually hang it on your wall. At the back here, it's got a little hole here. It's an Urban Decay palette. Jean-Michel Basquiat. It's a collaboration with Urban Decay. The packaging is so beautiful. It's got this long big mirror here. Again, it's small enough to be able to pack into your traveling bag to take it with you. I've actually traveled with this palette before. It has couple of neutral colors and some cool tones in there, warm gold one here. So yeah, again, you can create a look from this palette. $50 at the time that I purchased. I'm not sure how much it's going for right now, and again, the pigment is really good. I use it for a couple of looks, but I didn't use it that much. I'm not sure why I didn't. But with this palette, I tend to grab other palettes for transition shades, because I like my transition shades quite warm toned. They don't have that many warm tones in here. I tend to grab other palette, but at the same time, I love this palette so much. I'm gonna start doing some looks with this palette as well. I am trying to save some money and not buy too many eyeshadow palettes. You know, eyeshadow palettes are very expensive, and I'm trying to save money. I've done very well so far. I have purchased a lot of eyeshadow palettes, and I'm very proud of myself. The next eyeshadow palette I'm going to show you is from Too Faced. Oh, guys, I don't know if you guys remember this palette. Do you guys remember this palette? It's the chocolate bar. Now, this palette, it smells divine. I had this palette for so long and I can still smell the chocolate. I can still smell it. Every time I open it, the smell that oozes out of this palette is just... oh, it's just unbelievable, and I love this palette so much. It has a lot of metallics. Again, it has a mirror in there, and again, I've used this palette so many times for some looks. And yeah, this palette is on the market right now for £40, so it's still pricey. It hasn't come down that much, and I believe that this is one of Too Faced really great eyeshadow palette that they've made today. Majority of the shades in here are all metallic shades and shimmers. It doesn't have that many mattes. It only has four mattes, and the rest are all shimmers. I tend not to use this palette on its own. I tend to use other palettes if I want to do other looks. You know, I use other palette for my transition shades. But the shimmers and the metallics are absolutely gorgeous. I'm going to show you this silver one here. I'm going to swatch one for you. Just how look at that. Look at this, guys. Can you see the pigment? I honestly think that the £40 is worth it. It's a little bit pricey, but I think it's worth the price. It is worth the price. So this is actually one of my favorite eyeshadow palettes. Yeah, there it is. There's a palette that I forgot to show you. This out of all the palette is my least favorite. It's from Ted Baker, the Opulent Obsession. And the reason why it's my least favorite is because it does not have any mattes in there. It's all shimmers. There it is, and it is pigmented, but not as pigmented as the rest. It has 9 shades in here. Yeah, it has a little mirror there. It comes with a brush as well. I mean, I do like it because it's pigmented, but it's my least favorite because it doesn't have any mattes in there, and you cannot get a lot of looks from this palette. So I remember I used it once. I haven't used it since then, but I think I should. I think somebody asked me in the comment box that their mom purchased this and I should create a look, create maybe a couple of looks with it to show their mom. So yeah, I think I might just do that. I don't know when, but I might just do that. But yeah, this is my least favorite out of all the palettes that I have. I can never create a look on its own with just this palette. I always have to add another palette to this to get a look out of this. £14.95. That's how much it is. Almost £15. Guys, my next 3 palettes, my last 3 palettes I'm going to show you, they are my favorite palettes. Which one should I do first? I don't know. You know what? I can't pick. I'm not sure which one is my number 1 or which one is my number 2 or number 3. But I love all 3 equally. So I'm just going to show you. You know, I'm just going to go randomly and show you. Juvia's Place. Juvia's Place. And it's the festival by Juvia's Place. Where my bold people are, if you're a bold and daring person, this palette is for you. This is the palette because I like to create some bold looks, and this palette has done me so good. The pigment is, I know I've said pigments for all of them. I mean, they're all good palettes. I'm not saying one is better than the other, and they all have good pigment, but this pigment is amazing. It comes with 9 shades. Their palettes are some of my favorite palettes. Juvia's Place, I love their palette so much. I say that all the time, you know, and I've used their palette. My very first eyeshadow palette was from Juvia's Place, and it was their very first eyeshadow palette that they made. I can't remember I think it was green. I can't remember the name of the palette. I've created a lot of looks from this palette. I can do bold and I can also do neutral, but when I want to go bold, this is the palette I grab, and it is just unbelievable. I love this palette so much. And this palette is £20. I think I purchased it more than that, but right now it's £20, and I think they're actually doing sales as well, so sales on £10. I think we are sticking with Juvia's Place. We are thinking just, and this one is the Warrior 3 by Juvia's Place. We're sticking with them. I love this palette as well. Again, it's bold. I love my bold colors. I love my bold colors. Look at the shades in this bad boy. I'm going to actually do a swatch for you to see how pigmented this color is. Can you see? Look at the artwork on this bad boy. It's my Nubian queens. I love them so much. And the shades in the Congo here is just a beautiful color, a beautiful metallic color here. Kahina is absolutely gorgeous. I use that a lot for my transition shades. And this one here as well, which is the Jarawa, I've used that quite a bit as well for my transition shades, which is beautiful. And this one here, Masai, the green here, pigmented, gorgeous colors. Again, it's 9 shades in here. So all of them are matte, and it's only got 2 metallics or 2 shimmers at the bottom here, which is Congo and Karma, my bold sisters, for you. So this is the palette I've been using recently. Is this one here, Morphe 24A Artist Pass. If you watch my makeup looks, you will see that I use this one quite a bit in conjunction with this one here. I've been using them quite recently. These two. I purchased this palette for £36, but I've seen other people selling it for £45. I'm going to show you the inside of the palette. It has this massive mirror in here. Sorry if all my palettes are very dirty. Like I said, all these are old palettes that I've been using for a long time. I use them all the time, so they are going to be a little bit dirty. I'm sorry, guys. Look at the shades in this bad boy. Look at the shade in this bad boy. Morphe 24A Artist Pass X Saweetie. I use this all the time. It has shimmers, it has metallic, it has a lot of glitters. Look at that. All these are glitters, so press on glitters. And this is a star glitter here, which is very unbelievable. This one here is quite deceiving. This one, it looks white in there, but when you put it on, it has some blue effects in there, even though it looks like white in the palette. And this shade here is very gorgeous as well. I've used that quite a bit for my looks. This glitter here, and all these glitters. I think the glitter I haven't used much will be this one. I haven't used much of that, but I think I'm going to do a look and use this glitter. It's actually 24 shades in here, and it got some shimmers in there and metallics in there, and all this wall is matte, so you can actually create a lot of looks from just this palette only. You do not have to combine any palette with this palette here. I think I should actually do a makeup look creating so many looks from just this palette. I think I should do that. You know, the one that people do, they create so many looks from one palette. I think I should do that. This is for my bold sisters out there. If you are into bold, this is absolutely fantastic for you. This will be great for a night out. You can actually create a look for work as well. You know, for the top here, you can't dismiss everybody. It's highly pigmented. All these shades in here, and I tend to use this palette quite a lot. There you go. So guys, thank you very much. These are my collection. All these eyeshadow palettes, like I said, they're not new, they're old. Some of them I use them once or twice, and I just, you know, put them somewhere, even though I love them. And some of them I use them quite often, and the couple that I still use right now to do my eyeshadow makeup looks. And all these palettes are my favorite. This is the few that I selected to show you guys. So thank you very much, guys. I hope you like this video, and if you like this video, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Guys, help me get to 10k. Subscribe to my channel, like, comment, and can be a part of my YouTube family. Thank you very much, guys, for watching, and have a good day. Take care. Bye. Happy New Year again. Bye. Love you guys.